I'm going to show you how I prepare the aloe vera stalks so that I can make aloe vera juice out of it. And I do use the peels also on my face as part of skincare. So the first thing I do is I peel both sides of the spiny bits off of each stalk. And I didn't show it, but I did cut off each end of the stalk, and I did scrub it down. I scrubbed them down. I don't know that that's a necessity, but that's what I do. So when I'm done cutting and peeling the bits off all the way around the circumference of each stalk, it's going to go into the water. Now the reason I do this, and I'll pour the water out until I can get it to stand vertically. The reason I'm doing this is each stalk contains what's called yellow sap, and it's toxic. It's if you ingested a bunch of it, you would almost certainly shit your pants. And I don't want that. So you let the water sort of filter out, and gravity, because I'm trying to get it in there vertically, will filter out the majority of the green sap. So it's very important that that gets done. And after this, I will take both of those pieces. They're in the jar now. I'm going to let them sit for a couple of hours. They've been soaking for a little over 2 hours. In fact, probably more like 3 hours, because I got distracted as I do. So I'm going to fish these out, and the plant itself, I don't see any yellow, and the water usually turns more yellow. I had to empty some out and refill it a little because they weren't standing up and down vertical as they should be, to help use gravity to get that stuff out. But I just cut them in half, and it's very sticky, icky. And you'll notice there's some discoloration on the plant itself. You don't need to worry about that yet. So I am going to take a spoon. You can use a knife. You can use, I'm sure there's some sort of specialized something out there specifically made for this, because there's a gadget for everything. But I just make sure that all of the green plant part, the outside, is off. And then I take the edge of a spoon and I just glide it along. You don't have to scrape too terribly hard. It'll just start to pick up over the spoon. And then I make sure that what I've scraped off there, that's just pure aloe vera gel. And I make sure that it is clear, perfectly clear. You can see through it clear. If there's any yellow on there or any brown, sometimes you'll see like a dark red if it's been sitting for a while. That is no good. I will toss those pieces when that does happen. And it does. But I'm just going to do it again to the second one. And hopefully this side will also be perfectly clear. Fingers crossed. And it is sticky. Kind of gross. It feels like snot. It looks like snot. It behaves like snot. But it's not snot. And I'm just going to let you see that this side also is perfectly clear. You can see through it. I'm going to dunk that in just to rinse it off. That's just clear water. I like to make sure it's nice and fresh. So the discoloration on these pieces, I just want you to know that's no big deal. As long as it doesn't come off on the gel, you're good to go. So the smaller ones can be tricky, but I don't like to waste anything, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to slice it in half. And usually, even if I'm not able to scrape like almost any gel off of it, there's still enough gel on top for me to use it on my face as skincare. So I'm going to take the edge of the spoon, and it's slippery like snot, and scrape what I can scrape off of this piece all the way to the end. And that's a sizable piece. Yeah, but looking at it, it is not It's not perfectly clear. It's hard to tell, but it has some yellow in it that the other pieces didn't have. And see how it's cloudy and yellowish? Yeah, so I'm not going to use that. Yeah, that yellowy stuff is the stuff that will make you shit your pants. So I'm just going to toss that one down the drain. I don't have any use for that. And if it's on one side, then it's on the other. So yeah, that's just going into the garbage disposal. Now again, this discoloration on the leaves, it's on the leaf. As long as the discoloration does not come off onto the gel that you're using. Now that even still has gel on it that I can use on my face. I can use it, occasionally I'll put it on my hair, mix it with something and put it on my hair, like coconut oil or castor oil. And so these are the pieces that are left over, the pieces that I will be using to make the aloe juice. Perfectly clear. They look like kind of like little snotty jellyfish. What's left over from the stalks have enough gel left on them between the plant itself on the bottom and the usable gel that I use this on my face and my hair. I just stick them in a baggie and then pop them in the fridge, and they are good in there for about 7 days. Now I'm going to make the aloe vera juice itself. I'm going to take the gel that's been sitting in the water. I'm just going to dump that into the blender. I use a NutriBullet. Love this thing. I've had it for ages. Blends everything. And I'm going to dump that water. I'm not going to use that in the blender because it might have the bitter stuff on it still. So I don't have what I would normally use to put into this. You can add all kinds of things to aloe vera juice to make it taste better. But I'm going to start with filtered water, and that makes it easy to blend and also easier to drink. What I do have on hand right now are these Cara oranges that have these tiny little navels, which hopefully they'll be super sweet. So I have high hopes for these. Hopefully they have fantastic color and they're super sweet. Yes, they are. Yeah, those are great. They smell amazing and they're clearly very sweet. So I don't have any ginger, which I would pretty much always put in this, but the only piece I could find was just dried up and not usable. So I'm just going to use extra oranges on this. And I think they're sweet enough to cover any trace of aloe bitterness that might be in there. Hopefully, those pieces were so clear, I really don't think that I'm going to have a problem with bitterness at all. Aloe vera gel is incredibly versatile. It provides skin hydration, moisturizing, and scalp, which helps with dandruff. It helps with everything. On your skin, I put it over products because most products do dry your skin out. And it also stimulates collagen, which who doesn't want that? I don't care what age you are, but especially when you're over 50. And also you can put it on sunburns. You can put it on minor cuts. It's got antibacterial properties. It's just fantastic. So the antioxidants and the antibacterial, those things are great for your body inside and out. So I'm making aloe vera juice, and all of those things, they help your gut. And healing your gut, if you've never done any research on your gut biome and how important it is, some people swear by the fact that everything wrong with you starts in your gut. So it doesn't hurt. I'm feeding my gut. The reason I'm going to so much trouble to get this aloe vera gel for this juice is because I want it to be perfectly, absolutely unmessed with. I worry about what manufacturers do to it. They obviously have to add something to it just to make it shelf stable, and I prefer to have it perfectly 100% natural. I know exactly where it came from. The reason I am making the juice and drinking the juice right now is because, as I said in my other video, I have a hyperpigmentation on my face, and I suspect that possibly it has to do with my gut. And perhaps if I can get my gut healed properly, then that will start to fade on its own with the help of the products that I'm using in part 1 of the other video. The last thing I'm going to add to this before I go off and blend it is just a couple big pinches of salt, because when you take some citrus and some salt and some water, what you've made is a fantastic electrolyte. Okay, the last step is I'm just going to pop this lid on and head over to my Ninja Bullet and get this all blended up and frothy. Okay, it's ready. It's done. It's funny because I added more orange juice than I would normally, and I didn't have any ginger, so I had to skip that. But I still think it'll taste good. It looks kind of like an orange Julius. And let's be clear, it's not going to taste like an orange Julius. There's no sugar in it. Sometimes I add honey, but these oranges are so sweet I didn't think I needed to. If I do, I'll just squeeze some in there and reblend it. But let's give it a try, shall we? Yeah, it's good. It's actually good. I can't taste the aloe at all, which my technique is getting better because usually there's just a little trace of it, but not this time. So it's good for your gut. It's good for your hair. It's good for your skin. It's just good stuff. Aloe vera, check it out. And I'll see you next time.